Welcome to Cheese Squeeze! Na 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 na! Yo, Cheese Squeeze crew! Ready for a quick history quiz? Let's see if you know your Philippine trivia game now. Let's go! Ready, set, Cheese Squeeze time!
Question 1. What was the primary purpose of the Encomienda system in the Philippines? The correct answer is reward Spanish colonizers. It granted land and labor to Spaniards as a reward for their service to the crown. Question 2. Who established the first permanent Spanish settlement in Cebu in 1565? The correct answer is Miguel Lopez de Legazpi. Legazpi successfully colonized Cebu, marking the start of Spanish rule. Question 3. Which event marked the beginning of Spanish colonization in the Philippines? The correct answer is Legazpi's arrival in Cebu. Legazpi's arrival in 1565 established a lasting Spanish presence. Question 4. What was the first book printed in the Philippines, published in 1593? The correct answer is Doctrina Christiana. Doctrina Christiana was a religious text used to teach Christianity to Filipinos. Question 5. Which social class consisted of pure-blooded Spaniards born in Spain? The correct answer is Peninsulars. Peninsulars were the highest-ranking Spaniards, born in Spain. Question 6. What linked the Philippines to Mexico economically during the Spanish era? The correct answer is Galleon trade. The galleon trade connected Manila and Acapulco for over 250 years. Question 7. Who led the longest revolt against Spanish rule in Bohol from 1744 to 1829? The correct answer is Francisco Daguiojoy. Daguiojoy's revolt lasted 85 years, the longest in Philippine history. Question 8. What was the Spanish fort built in Manila to defend against invaders? The correct answer is Fort Santiago. Fort Santiago was a key defensive structure within Intramuros. Question 9. Which religious order was most influential in converting Filipinos to Christianity? The correct answer is Augustinians. Augustinians arrived first and established widespread missions. Question 10. What was the primary reason for the Cavite Mutiny of 1872? The correct answer is anger over tax exemptions. Workers revolted when their tax and labor exemptions were revoked. Question 11. Which priest's execution in 1872 sparked nationalist sentiments? The correct answer is Jose Burgos. Burgos, part of Gamborza, inspired reformists and revolutionaries. Question 12. What was the Reformist newspaper founded by Filipino propagandists in Spain? The correct answer is La Solidaridad. La Solidaridad voiced Filipino grievances and demanded reforms. Question 13. Who was the first editor-in-chief of La Solidaridad? The correct answer is Graciano López Jaena. López Jaena led the newspaper during its early years in Spain. Question 14. What was the goal of the propaganda movement? The correct answer is reforms and representation. It sought peaceful reforms, including representation in the Spanish Cortes. Question 15. Which of Rizal's works exposed Spanish abuses? The correct answer is Nali ni Tanhair. Nali ni Tanhair criticized colonial society and the friars' power. Question 16. What agreement temporarily ended hostilities between Filipinos and Spain in 1897? The correct answer is Pact of Bayak-Nabato. The pact exiled Aguinaldo and paused the revolution. Question 17. Who was exiled to Hong Kong under the Pact of Bayak-Nabato? The correct answer is Emilio Aguinaldo. Aguinaldo accepted exile in exchange for amnesty and payment. Question 18. What was the native script used before Spanish colonization? The correct answer is Baybayin. Baybayin was widely used by Filipinos for writing before Spanish influence. Question 19. Which policy forced Filipinos to work on public projects without pay? The correct answer is Polo y Servicio. Polo y Servicio required 40 days of unpaid labor annually from Filipino males. Question 20. What was the purpose of the reduction policy? The correct answer is centralized settlements. It relocated Filipinos into towns for easier control and Christianization. Question 21. Which revolutionary organization was founded by Andrés Bonifacio in 1892? The correct answer is Katipunan. The Katipunan aimed for independence through armed struggle. Question 22. What event is considered the start of the Philippine Revolution? The correct answer is Cry of Pugadlawan. The cry in 1896 signaled the Katipunan's call to arms. Question 23. Who ordered Jose Rizal's execution in 1896? The correct answer is Camilo de Palavilla. Palavilla, as Governor General, approved Rizal's death sentence. Question 24. Which province saw the first successful revolt against Spain in 1574? The correct answer is Ilocos. The Ilocos Revolt was an early resistance against Spanish taxation. Question 25. What tax was imposed on all Filipino males aged 18 and above? The correct answer is Cédula Personal. The cédula was a poll tax symbolizing Spanish authority. Question 26. Which law aimed to grant land ownership but was abused by the elite? The correct answer is Mora Law. The Mora Law was undermined by landlords and officials for personal gain. Question 27. Who continued her husband's revolt against Spain after his death in 1763? The correct answer is Gabriela Silang. Gabriela led Ilocano forces after Diego Silang's assassination. Question 28. Which battle in 1898 ended Spanish naval power in the Philippines? The correct answer is Battle of Manila Bay. Dewey's victory in Manila Bay crushed Spanish naval control. Question 29. Who defeated the Spanish fleet in the Battle of Manila Bay? The correct answer is George Dewey. Dewey led the U.S. Navy to a decisive win in 1898. Final question. What treaty officially ended Spanish rule in the Philippines in 1898? The correct answer is Treaty of Paris. The Treaty of Paris transferred the Philippines to the U.S. for $20 million.
That's it for today's quiz. Hope you got all the answers right, or at least learned something new along the way. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us again for more fun facts and trivia here on Cheese Quiz!